everyone. I'm Kowsalya and I'm coming from the Department of Commerce, and I have expertise in the area of finance and marketing. So in today's session, we will be talking about one of the aspect that is major role that is played in marketing, and it will come under principles of marketing. So to talk a little bit about principles of marketing, this is that one subject which is going to cover aspects such as product, price, place, how companies kind of try to get the customers in alignment with them, how well companies study about the consumers, and what are the ways in which every company provides a competitive edge for its competitors, as well as how well or how good products they can produce for the consumers. So to put all this together is what principles of marketing usually deals with, and that is what we will be studying in detail for our today's session. In today's session, we will be discussing about the different role played by marketing. So, as we all know, or very commonly known, I think marketing is just not about advertisement and promotion. It plays a lot of role, which is much more than marketing and promotion, and that is what we are going to look in detail in today's session. So I'm going to start off with my very first role that is played by marketing. I would say this is the first, foremost, and basic role that is played by marketing, which is promotion. So speaking about promotion, basically promotion means how well we create awareness about our product among the consumers, how well you get that product reach your target audience. Now that is what promotion is all about. Now what is so different about promotion is every company and every other brand does promotion. So what or how you can stand alone is just by how creative you could be in getting that product to the consumers. Now, one classic example I could give you is Coke. Now, all of us know Coke. The promotional strategy of Coke is more about festives, and I would say more about celebrations, where be it buy a dual Coke, come with your friend, or the way how you hold a Coke tin, all that Coke promotes, or the promotion based on how Coke work is festive and celebration, because Coke is that one brand which has been there for more than 70-80 years. But if it's able to make that mark and stand alone, it's because of the promotion. And also, if you see, Coke kind of covers all kinds of audiences. Now if you are a person who is more, let's say, health conscious, Coke gives you an option of zero sugar. Or if you're more into celebration, you have the regular classic Coke. Now Coke introduces a lot of berry flavors also, which means Coke is trying to communicate and tell us that whatever your need is, I've got a product. And bringing in festive seasons, people together, and then having a Coke talks more about how Coke celebrates its brand during festive season. So that is one example I could give you for promotion. Next, we're going to talk about the next role that is played by the marketing, which is called as selling. Now, as we all know, there are two distinct meaning when it comes to selling, yes, and marketing. Selling is forcefully making people buy or convincing people that, let's say, this product is beneficial for you, but on the other hand, it might not even be beneficial. So selling is all about making profits, whereas marketing is all about understanding the consumers and trying to give them what they want. But whereas selling right here refers to earning just mere profits. So whether the product is beneficial or not, as a salesman, my aim is just to push. So more of a push factor is involved in selling, but when it comes to marketing, more of, I would say, pulling factor is involved. So one example I could give you for selling is Byju's. It is a learning or consumer led development app. Yes, so they basically focus on helping the students learn and understand the concept much more, and in a very easier and in a practical way. So I've taken Byju's for a selling example because basically they're trying to sell their app, yes, be it whether it is actually beneficial for the students. Are their sessions actually practical? Yes, that is something that we can put in for discussion. But when it comes to selling, Baiju has done a very great job because their app was a very big hit. A lot of students were enrolled in Baiju's, and also the way in which they communicated their content and the reach that they got in a very short span of time is also remarkable. So that is one example I could give you for the aspect of selling. Next, moving on to product management. Now, product management deals with how well you kind of, design your product, position it in front of the people, and then how they kind of sustain and move towards your product in the long run. That is what product management is all about. We can come up with a new idea, yes, but we can make profits, yes, but how far are we able to sustain with the product? That is what product management is. And one classic example that I could give you is about Apple. Right from how the logo has changed, right from how Apple started as a company, how it positions its product. Yes, it is for the premium, I would say, targeted audience, but now it is positioning it in such a way, or giving that hype in such a way, that whether people are able to afford or not, at least for the brand, or at least for the sake of its features, or the what it majorly claims as to the privacy. Yes, so that is also one of the major factor as to how Apple kind of manage its products. When it comes to techniques, it is, technology, it is very, very advanced. When it comes to feature, again, it is very, very advanced. And when it comes to the look sleek, and let's say the opportunities or features that we get while enjoying the product, that is also remarkable. So that is one reason why Apple is able to manage its product up to trend and is able to give us a wide variety also. So that is one example I could give you for the aspect of product management. Followed by the next one is pricing. Now, pricing, basically, one thing that we have to understand about pricing is not fixing a price which is profitable for the company. For instance, let's say you're investing, your cost for producing a particular product is 200, but let's say you're going to add a profit margin of 50 and you're going to sell the same product for 250. That is profitable for you, but that is profitable for the company. But what actually pricing is all about, now let's say what the consumers are willing to actually pay for the product. Now that is what pricing is all about. Now 250 is profitable for you, but does your product have that market? Are consumers willing to pay that 250? So what is that one price that you will fix which will make the consumer, or which the consumers will be willing to pay? Now that is what is called as pricing, for which basically companies goes through something called as cost analysis. What prices competitors fix, yes, and what is the demand for their product, and what is the market for the product. Now you combine all this and then you come to something called as pricing, and will the customers be able to, or will they be willing to pay for that particular product? Now, example I've given here is the Xiaomi. Yes, now I would say Xiaomi doesn't adopt a very low price, but it charges a very competitive price. Now, what are people actually looking for when it comes for the phone? Yes, a good feature, a camera, and let's say every other, storage, and the way it looks, and what it actually, or how it helps to satisfy my needs. Now, this is what a person, or a particular, I would say anybody for that matter, looks for a phone. Now, Xiaomi created all of that in one phone, but one thing is, it did not charge a cheap price, but it just charged a competitive price, which will post a good competition among all other companies like Samsung and other companies, which is already prevalent in market. So it kind of studied the cost, it kind of studied or understand what the consumer wants. It looked at the price of the competitors, and then it came up with a competitive price. And it is also one of the reason why people are now actually preferring Xiaomi. So that is one example I could give you for pricing. Followed by the next aspect or role played by marketing is marketing information and management. Now, any kind of marketing, be it promotion, advertisements, or anything, I think most of the companies are data driven. Now, that is the importance of data in today's scenario. So, only when you have the data, I think you will get the right target audience. You'll be able to study their behavior. Yes, followed by that, you'll be able to customize or give features according to what the consumer actually wants. And Amazon, yes, is being a very, I think it's a very giant organization which has got its data right. When it comes to marketing research or when it comes to data, yes, Amazon plays a very, very vital role in gathering such data and giving what the consumers actually want, be it, the wide variety of products that is available in Amazon, the suggestion, yes, the Amazon gives with the help of AI, and the number of dealers, yes, who are benefited from Amazon. All this Amazon is able to do because it is very strong when it comes to market research and data. And that is how this market research and data helps company to develop a product or a feature which will be suitable for the consumer. And the next role that is played by marketing is financing. Now, financing is one such option where even when we are not able to afford to buy a particular product, yes, companies like Bajaj, they step in and they give us an EMI option, right? So basically this is to, make that immediate purchase. So that is one thing that, about financing, where we have the drive, we are impressed about the product quality, we are impressed about the product feature, but we do not have the ready cash or the exact amount available to avail that service or product. So in that case, financing steps in, where the companies like Bajaj gives us the feature of buying it on installments, or in other word, EMI options. So that is something to do with financing. Now, most of us might think that financing, how can it come under marketing? Yes, because that is also one aspect which pushes the consumer to go ahead and buy the product for that particular moment. So that is also categorized under financing. Next, we are talking about distribution here. Now, distribution is an aspect where every product reaches the consumer at the right time and at the right place. Now, creating a consumer-led product, yes, is challenging, but it is more possible. But if the consumer is not able to receive the products when they want, that's when then they switch to from company A to company B. Your distribution channels must be quite, I would say, strong, so that this problem of switching from one company and other company doesn't really affect the business. So I'm talking about logistics, I'm talking about transport, and I'm talking about warehousing here. Now, taking the example of HUL, Hindustan Unilever Limited, they have almost around 1 million stores across India. Yes, and they supply mostly CPGs, consumer packed goods. They have a very, very strong distribution channel, and that's why they are able to stay as a market leaders. So to sum up, these are the different roles played by marketing. You have 8 different roles played by marketing. So marketing is just much more than advertisements or promotion. Right from distribution, right from how you price your product, right from how you manage your product, like throughout, right from the beginning of introduction of your product and sustaining in the market. All this put together is what I would say marketing is. Even if we are not able to give 100% in one aspect, still that would affect the reputation, or even I would say the profits that the companies can earn in the long run.